and welcome to our 6th episode of Four Comedians in a Hat, where we have 4 comedians and we have a hat and we just have some fun. I do want to encourage you at the bottom of your screen where you see the arrow, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching this on something other than a PC, go to Gateway Comedy Scene on Facebook or look up Gateway Comedy Scene on YouTube and you can subscribe there. We have 3 comics. I always say 4 comics because I don't count myself as a comic. I count myself as a host, but I really am kind of a comic. I've been paid to make people laugh, so I guess I am a comic. So immediately next to me, we have Kelly Zemnickis. And Kelly, let's give her a hand.
After myself.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Kelly is a Toronto-based comic who was recently featured at the Boston Comedy Festival. She's also a filmmaker and the host-producer of It'll Be Fine, a baking show on YouTube. That sounds hot.
It's fun. It is fun.
Yeah, the puns are flowing. So we got you into doing the baking thing on YouTube.
Yeah.
What got you into doing the...
Oh, sorry. I heard you say something else entirely. What got me? I had a couple friends over. It was the summer of 2019, and we baked a cake that was not going great, and I kept muttering, "It'll be fine." And I was like, a light bulb went off. I'm like, that would be a great name for a baking show with comics. So that's what I made, a baking show with comics.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'll look that up. That sounds pretty cool.
It's a pretty fun time.
And immediately underneath Kelly is Mr. Yale Hollander. Give Yale a big hand. Yale is a St. Louis-based comic. Yale, St. Louis, yeah. He is a producer and a writer. He hosts the Coffee Break Virtual Comedy Showcase and was named St. Louis Most Enterprising Comedian in 2020. A lot of people don't know this, Yale, but I was right behind you in that contest. I came in number 204. So, what kind of perks have you got now that you were St. Louis's Most Enterprising Comic of 2020?
What kind of person
Perks.
do I? Oh, what kind of what?
Perks.
Perks. Oh.
Perks. You know,
Play on Coffee Break. I get it. Yeah, no, perks. I get to use the St. Louis Comedy Executive Washroom. Which is good. Clearly, I do not have the executive earbuds yet. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had to ask you 3 times what you were trying to say. I'd make an age joke, but I think you're actually older than me, so I'll just kind of hold off on that. But yeah, so many perks. It's hard to count past 0.
all right. Well, congratulations. Anyway, and next to Yale, underneath me, is Deb Steeves. Give Deb a big hand. Deb is a comic based in New Brunswick, Canada, with no formal credits, but a hopeless optimism that fame will find her. How's that going so far?
Fantastic.
You're on this show.
Found me. You
Yeah.
found me, so that's pretty impressive. So
She is currently writing a sitcom pilot and seeking comedy inspiration from multiple angles. Welcome, Deb. Welcome once again, our 3 comics. All right, I like to prove to people that I have an actual hat. Yeah, I stole it from a
Nice hat.
stripper. That's why it's got all the glitter on it.
Oh, you've already been to the PT's liquidation sale, have you? A local joke there.
Don't say liquidation with a strip club. That just sounds disgusting. All right. We're going to start with Kelly. Our first question. Would you rather your only mode of transportation be a donkey or a giraffe?
Ooh. I would have to go with giraffe, mainly because I am someone with very short arms. So I feel like the giraffe could reach things that I could not reach. I would like, hey, can we go by my kitchen cupboard and that kind of thing. I would drive it around because tiny hands.
You
Yeah.
must have tall ceilings. If you're
I
gonna
really don't. I'm just very short. so yeah, total giraffe. That would be me.
Nah, I got to go with the donkey. I'm only 5'6". I'm not getting on the giraffe. I'd be lucky to get on a donkey without having to use a step ladder.
I have seen someone ride a giraffe on TV. the old Tarzan series from the 60s, 70s with Ron Ely.
Ron
There was
Ely.
an episode where he mounted a giraffe and rode it. And I was amazed because giraffes they're not level. I mean,
No.
you're on an incline.
I'd like the challenge. That would be fun.
Oh, really?
I would, yeah. If given the choice, I would go giraffe. I'm holding to that.
Okay, Deb, what do you think?
I'm torn now because they're making each a wonderful case for each one, but I had ponies, which is similar to a donkey, so I feel like I'd be most comfortable on a donkey. So I'm going to have to go with the donkey, and just because I could go around telling people I'm riding my ass. So.
Boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
I rode an elephant once at the Kansas City Zoo. Has anybody ever ridden an elephant?
No.
Well, it's a little scary because you're higher than what God wants you to be, and every time the elephant would take a step, those shoulder muscles would move, and you kind of rock back and forth. And that was 30 years ago, before I saw all the elephants gone wild things on the animal channels. Now I would get 10 feet from an elephant. So if you were going to ride a giraffe, would you saddle the giraffe or do bareback?
Ooh, I'd have to go saddle. I would try to be as protective of my parts as possible in my poor choice of transportation. Yeah, it's a Kelly move. Like, I mean, I walk around Toronto in the most inappropriate footwear for long walks, so I would totally pick giraffe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Walking around, taking your walks in your stilettos, huh?
Yeah.
I get that. So, yeah, I just want to let you know that Ron Ely, while wearing a loincloth, went saddleless.
Ooh.
I'm not saying you're a wimp, but
That's fine.
all right, Yale, are you ready?
Sure.
Your question. Is teaching a skill that can be taught?
My wife, who is a high school teacher, is upstairs right now, and I think my voice carries. So I have to be very careful and strategic about what I say here. Can teaching be taught? I would certainly hope so. Otherwise, there's a lot of people out there that are going to be demanding refunds for their education degrees. I think in certain respects, teaching can be taught, but man, this is serious. This is deep. I can't. I'm trying to make a dick joke out of this, but God, I just there's nothing there. Well, again, don't talk to my wife about that either. I mean, I would think certain mechanics of teaching you can teach, but whether you can actually carry it off, that's an entirely different story. So I'm going to say, in my lawyerly fashion, yes and no.
Okay.
I totally agree. I think being a good teacher, that's like instinct that's within you, that can't be taught, but teaching, going through the motions, it's a very 50-50 answer. I think. Deb?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think, as you said, the mechanics can be taught, but the passion and the drive to want to help others learn can't necessarily be taught. So, yeah, I'm on the fence with that as well. So, if you can teach people to learn, can you teach people to teach? Sure. Is everybody good at either one? No. Yeah, hard question. Next.
Can you teach people to ride a giraffe, though? Now, there's
right. Obviously, it can be taught. Tarzan instinctively knew, but you would have to be taught, Kelly, I guess, and so would I, and you, Yale. And Vincent, do you think you'd need to be taught to be able to ride a giraffe?
No, I wouldn't need to be taught because I'm smart enough to stay away from someone with legs that long. All right. Here's a different twist. Can you teach someone how to do comedy?
no.
Yes.
No.
don't think
Oh,
you
we
got
have dissension.
It's hard enough to do comedy without teaching somebody how to do it and really, have that person come off effective.
But the question wasn't about can you teach them to do it well.
That's
Fair.
True.
Fair.
See,
Oh man, these are tough, Vince. Jeez.
Why are they so hard? It's early in the year. What's
Is it because we're Canadian?
maybe? Is that why, Julie?
wait till we get to the PhD level then.
Oh my gosh. This is just the warm-up questions? Oh my gosh.
See, when I got into comedy, of course, I didn't know what I was doing. I just went up and I was funny, and I had 8 friends at an open mic, and they showed up drunk, and it was just a 50th birthday thing for me. And I didn't go back for 6 months because my wife wasn't able to attend. So 6 months later, she was able to attend. We went, and of course, I didn't have my 8 drunk friends there. There was just comics there and my wife. My wife had heard my set, so she didn't laugh, and the comics wasn't paying attention to me because I'm a new comic, and that's just the way you're treated sometimes. And so I didn't think I would be doing it again, and I kind of got nudged into it, and I was suggested a book, and I read the book, and it was very mechanical on how to do comedy, and I promise it retarded my progression by about 6 months. Because I was so thinking about, I've got to have so many punchlines, so many seconds, and I've got to make sure my transitions are good. And I became generic comic. And I stopped doing that so I could once again become bad comic, which was much more satisfying to me. But generic comic was no fun.
I want to use that as like my handle, generic comic.
We could go with no name or store brand, I guess, as well. So
Comic with a UPC symbol after it.
Exactly.
There we go.
I've never taken. I mean, I didn't start by taking classes and then jump into open mics. I just got into it, but it was kind of in my bones. I think, just thinking back, like all the clubs I went to as a kid, all the comics I watched. I started off as a technicians in clubs in Toronto. So from like 16 to 30, whatever, I just watched a lot of stuff. I kind of feel like you have to have those bad nights. Like that's what really keeps you at it. If you can get through the comics not paying attention to you, if the spouse isn't listening to you, but you still go back that next night, then that's the way to do it. Trial by fire, I think.
Well, I spent 10 years as a minister, so I was used to speaking for 30 minutes and nobody listening, so I had no problem with that.
So that was a great training ground for you, and I apologize for calling my donkey the ass word. My apologies.
Yeah, watch your fucking language. Okay.
That word is in the Bible, so it's okay.
There's a lot of stuff in the Bible. And I have no biblical questions because I don't want to, I'll bog myself down. All right, Deb, are you ready for your question?
No, but give it to me anyway.
All right. What inanimate object do you wish we could eliminate from existence?
Oh. Wow. What inanimate object? Oh my gosh. This is a stumper. Anyone want to throw me a bone here? And I want to say bones now because that word came up, but then we would all be very, very floppy. So that's no good. Man. The corner of a couch, because you always seem to stub your toe on it. So I would like to eliminate that. And then it would reduce the amount of stubbed toes in the world. And I think that would be a great public service.
I like that.
I like that. That's a good answer. I was going to say this butter slicer I saw on an infomercial once, where you put the butter in this tube and then you pump it out and it cuts it for you. I don't think that should be a thing. Who greenlit that?
I'm a sucker for infomercials. If I ever saw that, I would own it.
Me too. Me too, Vincent.
See, Deb, now that I'm older, it's not an issue anymore, but there was one time in my life, because I've got 5 kids, there was about a 15-year period where the inanimate object that needed to go was the Lego.
Oh, yes. Classic Lego. Yes, I've stepped on Lego. You know what? I want to change my answer to yours. Lego. Absolutely. You know, if you put that out as a burglary prevention device, no homes would be broken into. Just under every window, you just put Lego. You're good. Your house is very safe then. Good answer, Vincent. Can we rewind this and give me this question again?
Okay. What inanimate object can we take out of existence?
You know what? I think Lego.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because it's a torturing device. But also this butter slicer thing I saw on an infomercial one day. Like, who greenlit that? I love that answer, Kelly.
You know, go ahead.
As the token non-Canadian on tonight's panel, I'll just contribute that the inanimate object that I want to get rid of hopefully will be leaving office on January 20th.
The world agrees.
Oh, he's leaving office. I don't know if he's going to go voluntarily.
Well, yeah, he'll be real inanimate.
Is he going on a donkey or a giraffe?
Oh, Jared. He's going on Jared.
On behalf of all Americans, to the 2 Canadians we have here, we are deeply sorry for the last 4 years.
We'll send you some edible arrangements when the border opens.
Right. And that'll be the way we'll
fine.
forward.
Oh, absolutely no Republicans ever watch this show, so we're fine. No.
Okay, good. Our prime minister advised us not to speak moistly, and that became a huge meme, and someone mixed a song with it and everything. So that was funny. We're not embarrassed by it. We just think it's amusing. So don't speak moistly.
I so loved how when he said it in his press conference, he had this look on his face of like, why did I just say that? This is going to come back to haunt me.
Yes.
Did he start blushing, or could you not tell because he was in blackface?
Hey,
yeah, he has a hankering for that, does he not?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Compared to our leader, your leader could, I don't know,
Apparently
say just about anything and nobody would care.
Got reelected after that came out. So
Yeah.
yeah,
All right. Well, Kelly, are you ready for your second question?
possibly.
All right.
Let's see.
Does the modern age make global conspiracies more or less feasible?
Ooh, I have to go with yes. I mean, just with all the technology. But I mean, they've always been feasible. They figured out how to do it, you know, back in the day with just the newspapers and the telegrams and the telling your neighbor. So that just won't stop. I feel like when the world explodes, that will still be around, and cockroaches. I feel like were the 2 things.
And the
Yeah, well,
cockroaches will be
cockroaches
the
will
only
just
thing to enjoy the conspiracies because none of us will be around.
Exactly. Yeah, they'll still be here, you know.
Yeah,
With the butter slicer.
not only has it made it more feasible, but I think it's also opened up a Pandora's box of opportunities to make them just even wackier than before. I mean, you know, you look back, you know, oh, well, the CIA was involved in the Kennedy killing, or Castro was involved in the Kennedy killing, or even, you know, LBJ had something to do with the Kennedy killing. That's one thing. We've moved from, you know, a presidential assassination being an inside job to the former First Lady of the United States is the head of a cabal that's eating and screwing children in the basement of a pizza parlor in Washington, D.C. So, you know, you tell me.
The things that used to be reserved for the weekly world news are now believed by masses of people.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. It's absurd. I want like Cher from that scene in Moonstruck to go around and slap everyone and be like, snap out of it. That's what we need. We need Cher to do that. Someone get
Well,
Cher to do that.
If you could get her to make a TikTok video, maybe that would go viral. And, I don't know, because things can go viral so quickly now. So yeah, you can spread crazy stuff faster, and you can do it with a dance. I don't know. I don't use TikTok, but I know people like to dance on it. So yeah. So it's crazy how fast things can spread. So it's absolutely faster, crazier, and more confusing.
And it's not going to stop.
I enjoy a good conspiracy theory. I do. But I tend to apply common sense, and I can say, that's not true, but it's still entertaining to me. It's like the show Ancient Aliens. I watch that, and I just think it's fascinating. But I know that 95% of it is just, stuff. People are making up in their basements and stuff. But, now we are in an age where, everything's fair game to the intellect of a lot of people. And I'll give you an example. I have a friend who is a year younger than me. We went to high school together. Tremendously intelligent individual. He's a scientist. He worked for Monsanto, and now he does farm consultation. He actually said to me and my friend that the voice of Trump, when it was recorded saying that you can grab women by the pussy, he actually said that's Frank Caliendo. When Trump has not even denied it. So
wow.
So I guess when I find people that I think are fairly intelligent that have fallen for this, I'm thinking, what's the world coming to? Did we really take that many drugs in the 80s? I don't know.
I have this side job along with doing comedy and writing. I transcribe for movies and TV shows. Wow. And I was transcribing for this documentary about Hitler. And in listening to it, I was really quite floored at how there were so many points of that doc that you could apply to today, with how he was churning out media to get a certain message out. And, folks were getting this, and you're getting this newspaper, and you're getting their point of view. And now with like Facebook and you tailoring the kind of news you want to see, it's just, it's so disappointing that we haven't learned anything.
Yeah. One of my degrees is in history, and I can tell the people who slept through history in high school and thought it was boring. They're the ones who are falling for all this crap. Yeah. That it's safe to sleep through algebra because I did that, but you should have paid attention to history. Okay, Yale.
Yep.
Oh, this is good for you. If you could start a country from scratch, what would it be like?
Oh man, if I could start a country from scratch, what would it be like? Wow, that's a real stumper. I know what it wouldn't be like. It would not be autocratic. It would not be susceptible to executive manipulation or attempts at manipulation of elections. Hopefully it would have a reasonable tax rate, but at the same time have the ability to sustain its population, have a thriving economy, but also have social justice for all. I guess I would want a country that's what the founders of America really aspired, except for all the, slavery and subjugation of women and stuff like that, where all humans are treated equally, I guess. Can't get a dick joke in this one either.
No, man.
I've got about 50 questions in here, and we're getting all the hard-hitting ones like this one, and would you rather ride a giraffe or a donkey, so.
Right.
That's such a deep answer, Yale. I was going to say I'd make my country. You could only buy Montreal bagels.
I'm moving to that
Just
country.
wood-fired bagels, guys.
Wood-fired bagels and real poutine. I'm there.
Oh yeah, real poutine for sure.
Exactly.
And donaires, I guess that's a Canadian thing, isn't it?
Donaire.
Donaire.
That's a Halifax thing. Yeah, the donaire. Yeah.
So that would be in our country.
And
for
butter
sure. Well, it
tarts.
actually is. So that's awesome. So
Yeah. So we'll put that with Yale's country, and we'll just make a great country.
yeah, it sounds amazing. Like I want to live there. That sounds
I'm already
good.
colonizing. How about that? See, I've already blown it. I've already started manifest destiny. Maybe it can't be done. Maybe that is the outcome of the American experiment. Is that, you know, no matter what you try to do, imperialism reigns supreme.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think there's a lot of truth in what you're saying there.
Yeah.
If I could start a country from scratch, one of the things that I would be dogmatic about is that you pay your taxes, but you decide where your tax dollar goes, into what fund. So if you want to give money for people who need food, you know, you give to that agency. If you want to give some money for something else, you give to that agency. If you're one of those people who want a strong military, you know, you allot some tax dollars to that. Let the people truly decide what direction the country goes, because I feel like a lot of times, you know, tax dollars are kind of like child support checks. Once you get rid of them, like, I could think of better things you'd be doing with my money, but I have no say, says my lawyer. So. And I brought the room to a conclusion.
Oh, and we're done.
I'm just trying to think, you know, if you're able to earmark your tax dollars to certain things and say, you know, that I want to earmark my tax money, I guess this would be state tax money rather than national tax money, you know, to public works. You know, if I wanted to, could I just go out and take a fire hydrant and say, well, I paid for that, it's mine, I'm going to move it, you know? Well, it's not vandalism, it's repossession. I paid for this. Here's my tax return that says fire hydrant.
How about this? All issues are a popular vote. We have the technology to do this now. You simply go to your portal on your computer every night, once a week, however often you want to vote, and you vote yes or no on every issue. So, yeah, you wake up that morning, you feel like, you know what? I think we need to blow up the moon. I'll vote yes on that one.
Too much power. It's like the Truman Show. Too much control.
But back to this blowing up of the moon.
I've thought way too much about running a country the way I think it should be ran.
You're gonna have one hell of a space program, it sounds like.
There's gonna be some Space Force.
Yeah. All right, Deb, are you ready for the final question of the evening?
Yes, sir.
Okay, drum roll, please. What is the most imaginative insult you can come up with?
Oh, how mad am I? Let me see. I love to use Shakespearean insults, but I don't know if that's necessarily the most imaginative. Let me see. So you want me to actually say the insult? So
Sure.
No one take offense. I don't mean it. You know, I'm Canadian. I'm sorry in advance if I offend anyone. You have spindly legs like a giraffe, and your feet smell like your hooves are rotten. That's not the most imaginative, but it was sort of related to our giraffe and donkey. So
I was going to say, if someone told me that, I don't know if I'd be insulted or if they were just telling me a joke.
well, let me tell you, if you've ever smelled a horse with an infection in its foot, you will lose all your lunches from the past week. So if you've never smelled one, I encourage you to smell it, and then you will know how vile that insult is. Maybe that would be helpful.
I'll
to
take
have a
your word
reference.
for it.
You're not going to check it out, Yale?
No, I'm going to take your word for it. You seem
Okay,
trustworthy.
I appreciate that.
We're good.
The bigger question
Pretty
is,
smelly.
why are you smelling horses' feet?
It was so bad that I could smell it from 4 feet away. Let me just say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's I guess that was imaginative, and I guess it wasn't insulting if you didn't know the reference. So I'll try again next time. But again, get me mad and I'll give you a better one. How's that? Maybe next time.
Okay. I don't have it in me to get you mad right now. So.
All right. Or get me angry, I guess. You don't want to be mad. You want to be angry.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hear some insults.
Yeah, I always try to go like a food baking route because I'm such a foodie. So I'll say things like, what a snickerdoodle.
Oh my gosh! You're kidding me!
That's good.
Now I'm offended.
That would actually work on a couple of people I know who are very averse to cinnamon. So that I'll have to remember that if they ever piss me off. Call them a snickerdoodle and get offended.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of partial too. If you were any stupider, you'd be in the Senate.
Oh, nice.
Harsh.
I think if you called me a snickerdoodle, I think it was a term of endearment, though, Kelly. I think, oh, that's so cute.
It's the tone, Deb. It's totally the tone.
Okay.
What
tone,
a snickerdoodle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I got so angry at my ex-wife, and I didn't say this to her, but I hung up the phone and I called her a festering puddle of douche waste.
Oh my.
And it just came, and I have probably said it 100 times since then. I've said it on stage. I don't know how it came up in my mind, but it was just, that just came out. And it made me laugh at myself because, kind of funny, and still using it today because she's still alive.
Can I use that?
So when she's not, then she'll be a decomposing, festering pool of douche waste.
That's right.
Oh my God.
That's right.
That's awesome.
So that's the worst insult I think I've come up with.
Yeah.
Canadians are nice. You all are just nice. I've never met a Canadian that was like mean.
Oh, we exist. No, but we're very passive about it. We're very bait and switchy about our anger. Like we'll turn on you quick. I find we can
Vincent,
cut pretty deep.
You've never been to a Blues Blackhawks game? Been some pretty rude Canadians involved on the ice there.
I've been to a Yankees game as a Blue Jays fan, and yeah, the words can flow that aren't very friendly. Yeah.
Well,
I threw a beer glass at my mom. That was so rude, but she ducked. My mom ducked. She's quick reflex.
Nice.
in the last few years with Trailer Park Boys and Letterkenny, I have had a different view of Canadians. They can be mean, and and now one of the terms that I use is degens. I call people degens. If you've ever watched Letterkenny, you know why. Degens from Uptown.
The one
the classic hoser, So good.
The one insult that I really like actually is English. It comes from the short-lived but incredibly hilarious television show Toast of London, where he will call people a bellend, Bellend, which is essentially the British reinterpretation of the Yiddish term schmuck.
Oh,
Ah.
Yes. In other words, the tip of the penis, the bell end, which is what schmuck is.
Nice.
I did not know that's what a schmuck was.
Yep.
Hmm.
You know, some people say it's a foreskin, or it's basically that particular area of real estate.
Real estate. So can you put it up for sale if it's real estate? Can you make a profit? Does it get foreclosed on?
Yeah, I think I'd steer clear of the for sale by owner stuff. For sale, never mind. I'm not going to go there. It rhymes. You figure it out.
What about like a schmucking snickerdoodle?
Oh, that's
That
Sounds like a health department violation. That will get your kitchen closed down. That will put your bakery on the blacklist.
And now that I know what a schmuck is, I didn't need to hear that. So, have you ever seen the British show, The IT Crowd?
A little bit. I've watched an episode or two.
Yeah.
There is an episode where they're computer geeks and they're trying to fit in with this jock crowd, and they ask which football club they follow, and one of them just looks at they're at a restaurant, looks at a thing of ham, and says West Ham, and here you've got the West Ham United flag right there.
See that there?
So how do you follow West Ham?
I do. I am a tried and true West Ham fan, and came to it as most people come to it. I was, back in the good old days when I actually used to get to travel for work. I would go over to our London office like 3 times a year, and I always wanted to go to a Premier League soccer match. And the one game that was going on in London when I was going to be over there was a home match for West Ham. And in order to get tickets, you have to buy into the club. You have to buy an annual membership to the club. So, I figure, look, if I've got to be a member, then, I might as well put my mouth where my money is in this particular instance and become a supporter. So that's how I picked my team and stuck with them. And they're not good. Let's put it this way. I'm currently delighted that they're in 10th place in a 20-team league. So if that gives you any indication as to how not great they are, that's it. But you know what? I got pretty lucky with the Cardinals, got pretty lucky with the Blues. So, I'll stick with the Cubs of British football.
I just noticed, Yale, so what's behind me is a picture of the oldest restaurant here in Toronto. You kind of look like the dude on the side of the
I
restaurant.
kind of do, yeah.
Wow.
Great.
Got
Do you have a cup of coffee close
He's got
by?
coffee and he's got breakfast in front of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could very well be me, except I don't have enough neck to pull up the turtleneck.
If there was a cheeseburger and you had a cigar, that would top it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's time we wrap this up. I do want to thank our 3 guests, and I think that we have learned a lot today, have we not?
Definitely.
Very educational, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to teach the kiddie stuff, okay? Once more, let's give a big hand for our guests. Kelly Zemek, am I pronouncing your name right?
No, it's Zemnickis, but that's fine.
Kelly Zemnickis, yes.
Zemnickis.
Yale Hollander and Deb Steeves.